Welcome to This Week in Sim Racing, October 22nd edition. I'm Sean Cole, and as you can see, we're doing things a little bit different today. We're going to bring a lot of news items to you real fast in a quick pace, and it's going to be just me out here. Now, This Week in Sim Racing is sponsored by iRacing.com. You can try out iRacing.com yourself for 3 months for the price of one by going to our website and clicking on any of the iRacing banners that you see there. Now, before we get into the show, it's been a real tough week in racing. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's in regards to Dan Wheldon, the IndyCar driver who lost his life in a terrible wreck at Las Vegas this week. And I just want to say from everyone here at Inside Sim Racing, our thoughts and prayers go to Dan and his family in regards to all this. And it's not just from us. Sim racers and real-life racers from all over the world have thrown various different tributes in his honor. Now back to This Week in Sim Racing, and our first story comes to you from Virtual R, and that regards Reza Studios and Game Stock Car. They have just announced the new Formula Reza car coming to the game, and it's modeled after today's Formula One cars. An unnamed F1 source gave input on the physics and claimed that this is the closest experience to the real thing outside of the top team's professional simulators. Next up is regarding the GT Academy with the 5th and final episode of the series that is now aired, and it comes with a prize for everyone. And that's the new Nissan GT-R GT500 stealth model vehicle, and it's available to everyone. All you got to do to drive that car is log onto your PS3, enter a code that'll be available in our forum or the description of this show, and you'll be able to download that car while supplies last, whatever that means, and that's good through January 30th, 2012. Also in GT news, the latest DLC for North America has been delayed a week. And in an apology, Sony promised that to make up for it, they're going to include a special bonus for everyone in North America. Switching over to Forza 4, reports of sales are starting to trickle in all over the world, and there's a little good and a little bad news included with it. In America, Forza 4 sold an impressive 235,000 units this week, a sizable increase compared to Forza 3's debut with 225,000. And in the UK, Forza managed to knock FIFA 12 off the top of the sales chart. However, in Japan, it only managed to rise to 4th on the weekly sales charts despite what big racing fans the Japanese are. A while back we covered Need for Speed The Run from E3, and they've come a long way, or at least have a demo now available for the Xbox and PS3. It has one track, and that's Desert Hills, and 2 cars to choose from, including the new Porsche Carrera. In addition, there's a contest going in conjunction with Sports Illustrated, where if you're actually faster than Chrissy Teigen, you'll be able to win a date with her. So if you want to win a date with Chrissy Teigen, and I know I want to win a date, so I'm going to do this, head over to the Need for Speed website, and you can check out all the contest details there. And it goes on until November 1st, so you better hurry, because you're going to have to beat me as well. Actually, it's a general drawing. Anyone entered will be entered into that drawing as long as you're faster than her. So that concludes the first half of our show. I'm going to take a quick break, and when I come back, I got a lot more sim racing news for you.
GamePod, the ultimate race rig for those serious about sim racing. Puts you in the driver's seat with all the controls at your fingertips. Be number one on the road, in the race, in the game. GamePod, the choice of champions.
Welcome back to the show, and next up is Cars, which we covered on last week's show, and we were completely blown away by the graphics, and, you know, I'm still waiting on my codes to be able to try it out. I mean, of course, I could become a member, but that might actually bias me and the show. So I'm hoping they just hook us up, we can try it out, and really report the story to you. Anyway, in last week's show, we mentioned it, we called it a beta, and to be perfectly accurate, it's still in pre-alpha stage. Now this week, the guys at Slightly Mad released a new version with a ton of new enhancements. And the coolest part of all is that those changes are going to be available to every level member. Now the next topic isn't necessarily sim racing news, but it's in regards to NVIDIA GeForce LAN 6. And this was done on the USS Hornet in Alameda, California. Now the USS Hornet is an aircraft carrier turned into a museum. Now, the event was all about 650 bring-your-own-computer gamers that were going to get together for 48 hours of continuous gaming, and that meant even sleeping on the boat in the actual crew quarters. In addition to that, you had Battlefield 3 with 2 new maps and a new build that no one else had seen yet, with a giant tournament going on for all the gamers to play in. You also had NVIDIA showing off their latest 3D Vision 2 with new glasses and backlit monitors. In addition to the NVIDIA rigs, Chris Stevenson, who we met a long time ago, had his full motion rig there, and we got to try that out as well while we were at the show. You had people doing overclocking with liquid nitrogen, and then in the bring your own computer area, you had some of the most insane computers that you'd ever seen. And then at the end, NVIDIA rewarded everybody with a bunch of prizes that kind of capped off the weekend. Next up is Sim Rig of the Week, sponsored by Tamiya, and this week's rig comes from Carl Andre Tafjord of Norway. He is a longtime sim racer dating back to titles like Stunt and Toka 2. Like many others, he started at the desktop and then moved on to his first home-built rig. Despite being pleased with that version, there was still room for improvement, and that's what led to the design that you're looking at now. Starting with aluminum rails and cutting pieces and bolting them together makes up the base of this rig. The seat is actually from a crashed BMW and only added $20 to the overall project. The design has wheels to make it easy to move around and is slightly collapsible for easy storage. The rig is also equipped with a Fanatec GT2 wheel and Club Sport pedals, making it perfect for his favorite sims of GT5 and Forza. He also has a Logitech Z5500 sound system and is lucky enough to race on a 92-inch projection screen. And Carl said the only thing that he has left to do is build himself up a PC so he can start doing some R-Factor and iRacing. Now, at the beginning of the show, we mentioned Reza Studios. We talked about Game Stock Car and the new Formula Reza. But this week, they made an even bigger announcement, and that's a new project that involves the Ayrton Senna Foundation. Now, this is going to be a completely new sim that is going to follow Ayrton Senna's career, giving you an opportunity to race in his footsteps. The new game is being made for the PC and is being made with a partnership with the Ayrton Senna Institute to develop this title. It's going to be built upon a brand new game engine in order to create a sim that gives drivers the passion, details, and technical perfectionism that made that magical era in racing so special. The new project by Reza will have multiple purposes, obviously the first being a great sim like we have already grown to expect from them. And the other is far more charitable, where a portion of the proceeds are going to go to the Ayrton Senna Institute to give better education to children in Brazil. So that's going to do it for today's show. Please go to our website at InsideSimRacing.tv. There you can see our forum, endless amount of information. Get involved. I'm Sean Cole, and I'll see you on the track.